Sponsored by Latitude 64. Justin Robertson sitting at 7 down. And Gavin Osenkop also at 7 down. Starting on hole 1, we got a 540-foot par 3. And there's really only 2 routes. You can take the hyzer left or right of those trees over the OB parking lot and just landing like a safe area right before that OB concrete in front of the basket, or you can get aggressive and go right at it. But it takes a cannon. Let's find out how we do. Alright, first up we got Kyle. And Kyle's actually from Edmond, Oklahoma, so he's probably played this course a couple times. Looks like he's lined up the forehand, probably just playing it safe. Gets it up nice and high. Yeah, that is fine. That's actually a common play. He'll play into that tree and just drop. Hole 2, 254-foot par 3. You got Mando on the left. You're really just going to want to throw either a dead straight, mid-range or putter shot, or maybe even a hyzer. It is easy to go long though, because that behind the basket drops off a little bit. And here's Kyle. That fantastic putt on the last hole. Oh yeah, it's a bullseye. Alright, hole 3, you got a 247-foot par 3. You got a very tight gap off the tee, a lot of trees. That little area is not OB though, that sidewalk's OB. So you're probably going to see a lot of forehands, maybe a backhand just to play it safe on the right side. But the forehand gap's definitely the way to go. And in the first round, this basket was probably another 200 feet longer, which made it a very difficult third. And you actually see that quite often. We got Kyle going with the forehand. That's looking good. It gets a skip, and it does. Alright, hole 4, 420-foot par 3. And you can get in some danger if you get aggressive off the tee. There's some water on the right, down by the basket. If you want to play it safe, you can kind of bail out on the left, but if you want to go right at it, you got to avoid those rocks, and you got to hit a great puffer too. Kyle's going to show off that forehand power. Is it nice and low? That looks about pin high. Oh yeah, he's on the hill. Alright, hole 5, 366-foot par 3. Very narrow fairway. We got OB left on that concrete. OB deep, which is the road. And yeah, you might see some forehands, maybe a thumber or a backhand right in the middle. Something that slightly turns over, misses that tree in the middle, and fades up right into the basket. Bo Tillman now has a 2-stroke lead on Kyle. Let's see if Kyle can get his putter going. And after that last hole, we know Kyle's got the power with the forehand. You can probably throw it over the road if you wanted to. But you gotta get wide enough to where you miss those trees, but you can't go too wide or else you might be in risks. Kyle's gonna need a birdie here. And y'all get through the initial gap perfectly clean. That's perfect. Alright, hole 8, 319-foot par 3. Very tight window, pretty much all the way to the basket. You got this little lane right here, very tight. And once you get over that hill, it's just about 90, 100 feet from the tree line. Yeah, and if you just keep it low and miss a couple trees, you should be in the circle. Here. Yeah, and there's really only one route to go on this hole. Keeps it low. Will it hyzer though? Yeah, he's over there by Emerson. Good shot. Alright, hole 8, 333 foot par 3. Got Mando on the left, gotta go right of it. And it's really just a basic hyzer. The basket's on a slope. It's pretty quick up there too, so you gotta have distance control. And yeah, you gotta keep it low. Let's see how they do. About a foot away from hitting Chris on the camera. Here we got Kyle. Looks like he's going low. It's looking good so far. Let's settle down. Perfect shot. Alright, hole 10, 315 foot par 3. A ton of trees to start. You gotta dodge probably 7 trees. There's really no clean gap either. And it's really just popular to land that landing zone down by the basket. If you go left into those trees, that's pretty much bad news. You got OBD. Are you kidding me? Jesus. And Kyle saw that and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna try to join you here. It's like he's going thumber. I'm not really sure what Justin did. Thumber or tomahawk. That's for sure a thumber. He's a little short, but that's still fantastic. As long as you're out away from him. And Gavin at 9 down. Hole 11, 255 foot par 3. OB on the right side, all the way to the basket. The preferred line is probably a forehand, but some take the middle gap with probably like a putter or a mid-range. It's not very far. Yeah, let's see how they do it. It's a pretty standard hole. Probably a must-get for them. Down this stretch of the tournament. Here's Kyle. Yep, that'll work. Hole 12, this is a 342 foot par 3. It's fairly uphill, so it probably plays closer to like 410. And yeah, there's some guardian trees up by the basket, and probably the most common play is like a hyzer flip, maybe a flex forehand. You just gotta get the power to get up there. Look at that putt, wow, that was me. Justin. Here we got Kyle. Keeps it nice and low. Needs to get left. Alright, hole 13, 192 foot par 3. There's really just 2 routes here. You can go right up the middle for an ace run with a mid-range or a putter, or you can take the big hyzer around all those trees. Although if you take the hyzer, you gotta make sure you don't go too deep. So you gotta get it really high up in the air. And if you get stuck in these trees, you might have a really awkward putt for a birdie. We got Kyle going the straight shot as well. Nice shot. Alright, hole 14, 360 foot par 3, and there's lots of options here. The most common one is taking this route right here.
keeping it low, maybe a forehand, backhand with the slight turnover, or you can take the massive hyzer before these trees and basically just end up on the right side with the easy pitch up. There is a little pond that is OB right in front of the basket, and also a pond, it's more like a puddle. And there's also a puddle right behind the basket. The basket's sitting on a mound, so a lot of things can happen on this hole. Kyle is going to do the same thing. And Justin played baseball his whole life, so he's more comfortable with that overhand shot. I'm not sure about Kyle. I'm sure he played a little baseball as well. Oh, that looks absolutely perfect. Oh my god, he crushed that. Alright, we're on to a must get 2 right here. Hole 15, 264 foot par 3. There's a forehand line, there's a hyzer line, there's a tomahawk line. You can do whatever you want in this hole. You just gotta make the putt. Let's see what kind of routes we get here. And that'll be a tap in for 2. Looks like Kyle's also going with the hyzer. Alright, hole 17, 450 foot par 3. And this hole plays as an island. There's a drop zone. If you go left of that little circle island, then it is not OB. But if you land on the road, you are OB. And this hole can cause some troubles. The island's pretty much blind from the tee, so you've had to have practiced this hole before. Kyle's going with a forehand. He got good turn on it. Oh yeah, bullseye. And oftentimes you'll see. Alright, hole 20. This is a short par 3, probably around the 330 range. And the only thing I worry about is the OB long. There's a little sidewalk, and it's only about 30 feet from the basket, so you gotta play it pretty tight. Here's Kyle. Oh yeah. Alright, the last hole of the tournament, hole 21. Roughly about same as the last one, about 330, 340 maybe. We got OB left parking lot, OB right street, and OB deep street. There's a couple trees to mess with throughout the tee, but pretty standard hole. Should see some 2s. Great shot. And Kyle with a very similar line, maybe a little bit too much turn. Sit down.